Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. Are we doing episodes now of the Women of AI? I am Sadie Smiley, and
Sharon Kinnear.
thank you so much for joining us. Today, we're going to talk about using the right AI tool for the job, because a lot of us have been getting overwhelmed, especially if you've signed up to any of the AI newsletters. They're sending out, I read one this morning, no joke, 37 new tools listed in the email. And I'm just like, oh, my brain, it hurts. So we're going to talk about using the right tool and leaving the rest behind. We're going to show you what we're working on. So Sharon's working on a customer journey for her business, and I created something amazing with AI last night for my DIY date night site. And then we're going to show you our favorite Midjourney outputs of the week. The prompt guide that we are working on in Canva. So let's start off by talking about using the right tool for the job.
Okay, so let's start with ChatGPT, because there's ChatGPT 3.0, 3.5, and 4.0. And then there's Midjourney 3, 4, and 5. But there's also Creative Spark. And then there's Leonardo. So Creative Spark is at the very bottom, Midjourney's in the middle, and Leonardo is at the top. When I think about ChatGPT, when we started and we got 3.0, we were just amazed at what we could get out of it. And so that was like a faucet in comparison, because then we got 3.5 and then it became a water hose. And now we have 4.0, which is a fire hose, because it will give you such detailed information that it is crazy. But there is no reason for some of us to have to use 4.0. We were very, very happy with 3.0 when we were asking it basic questions and we were trying to get some information on, can you give me a silo of topics for my blog post on, chocolate milk? Yes. And we got all this information and we were able to run with that. And then GPT took it to the next level. And now, we have 4.0, which breaks it down to the number of proteins per ounce. Okay, nobody on a blog post is going to read about proteins per ounce. This is not going to happen. So maybe 4.0 isn't the one that you need for getting titles for a blog post for your silo. It's just overkill.
Yeah, it's kind of like we've got all this wood outside of our house and they're little bitty pieces of wood. So you could just, chop them up. It's kind of like if you were to bring a big chainsaw to cut up these little pieces of wood. Like, will it work? Yes. But is it super excessive and unnecessary? Also, yes. So I feel like that's what you need to look at with the ChatGPT, especially right now. They're limiting to 25 every 3 hours. So you need to use 4 for your very important tasks that 4 can only complete, whereas you can leave the rest to the 3.5 and it'll still give you what you need. 4 is just, a better learning model and knows more things and is more intricate. But like Sharon said, if you're just coming up with blog post titles or, creating a cluster of content, you don't need that powerful chainsaw of 4 when you could just use a little axe.
Right. And Sadie has been more interactive over the past 2 weeks with Midjourney than I have. I've been slacking because I've been in the weeds of all of their policies. So when you finish policies, the last thing you want to do is go create something. So we had so with Midjourney, I have been going back and forth between 4 and 5, and I got to be one of those people who tested those things. It was like a never-ending series of pictures. Pick 1, pick 2, pick A, pick B, that kind of thing. And some of them I couldn't even tell the difference between. So it was like, all right, well, that's not that big a deal to me because I use Midjourney. I'm one of those people who go into Midjourney with a mission.
Yes.
I don't sit there and just kind of like, oh, let's see what happens. No, I don't do that.
That's me. That's me. That's why I've been in Midjourney so much though, because it's one of those things that for me, I just upgraded to the higher plan. So I didn't have to worry about, image numbers, and it For me, just going in and creating actually unleashes creativity in other parts of my business. So I think that you should go in with an idea like you do. And I love that you do, but I just go in and I'm like, mushrooms, it's raining. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I should go create a journal. And then I go create a journal. Like it's a completely different process than how you do it. Absolutely. But it's like both of them work. And that's why you have to come up with your toolbox and do things your way.
That's right. So both of us have great respect for Midjourney 5 because I
Yes.
think that they are almost there on the hands. Not quite there yet, but it's better.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah. Like
don't
half
always
the
have to cut
time.
you don't always have to cut your picture off at the chest
Yeah.
level.
Right? Like that's really nice that they're improving that though. And the eyes are getting better. It's getting
Mhm,
more realistic. But with that being said, some people don't want to use Midjourney for that. So they're annoyed that everything is getting so photorealistic. But I feel like Midjourney, like I feel like they took all the information of what we're creating
mhm,
and photorealism was the most important part because that's what most people were creating.
mhm. Right, I agree. And what they get now is like if they were to actually ask me, I need more African Americans colors, uh, coloring pages. I have gotten grays, browns, some shades of green for their skin tone. And I simply
Yep.
want an outline. And
Yep.
no one has been able to figure that out. You know, I've gotten close, other people have
Yep.
gotten close,
Yep.
and that's all we are is close. So maybe,
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I think like the next step for this until Midjourney figures that out, I think that people who want to make coloring books, um, and they're featuring non-white children, because that seems to be the only ones that it can complete, the way we were asking it to. Um, you can take those images, pop them into Procreate and trace over them as long as it's a simple image. Like if you're doing the children, the cartoons, the more intricate designs, that's a waste of
that's
time for
right.
me. Yeah, that's not enough. But like the simple designs, I can outline something in 10 minutes or
Mhm,
less in Procreate. So if somebody's coming into that problem, like then you add another tool to your toolbox and it might be Procreate or it might be another tool until Midjourney can figure that out. Because yeah, we've been trying to use the prompts in a different way. I tried to use it to where I wasn't mentioning that the child was Black. I was just describing like the textured hair maybe just to try to
mhm.
get a better outline. And it knows that I'm referring to a non-white child and slaps that gray or green or whatever all over their skin. I'm like, it seems so simple for us,
Right.
but it's a freaking robot. And it's a little bitty thing that it's an intricacy that the robot can't understand that we understand easily.
Right. But you know, Creative Spark is really good at being able to do just outlines. You're not going to get the quality that you get from Midjourney. So you would still have to take that into Procreate or some other a second source to kind of
Yeah.
clean that up. But you would get the outline, you'd certainly get what you're looking for. And then there's Leonardo, which again should never
Mhm.
be used for a coloring page. You know, that's something else that's just way above being able to do a coloring page, being able to do a mandala. And mandalas can get very intricate, but they don't need to
Yeah.
be done in Leonardo. You know,
Right.
that's, I think once again, you would be using a hammer for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Leonardo is like an automatic nail gun or something. Like it is insane. It's amazing. And I've seen the results and I've played around with it. But for me, it's just Midjourney is the brain dead easy version. And that's what I need. That's why
Mhm.
I stuck with Jasper for so long before it became obsolete to ChatGPT, because it was the brain dead easy version. I didn't have to think. It had the recipes, it had the buttons, it had this, it had that. And now ChatGPT has obviously completely replaced that. And ChatGPT for me is the easy brain dead option. And so for me, like sometimes that wins over the best product.
Yeah.
Leonardo might be the best for many use cases, but for me, ease of use, it wins.
Oh, ease of
It,
use is
you know,
everything. And you
yeah.
know, the conversation we were having yesterday about um, robots replacing humans as far as content goes. the content that the robot puts out is only content that some human has put in.
Yep.
And content is king, always will be king. Well, she's queen.
I was
But
gonna say queen. Yes.
but and you need a human to be able to give that input. So we
Yeah.
simply feed the beast. So we don't ever really have to worry about is our job secure, or if we're going to be obsolete in some way. No, because you still need a thinking brain to put the content in. So that's one fear you should let go of.
I think you just created our first t-shirt. Feed the beast.
Feed the beast. That's right.
It's gotta be it. We're gonna get a t-shirt that says feed the beast, and it's gonna have like AI robots. That's beautiful. Okay.
Right.
So using the right tool is important. Building your toolbox is important. Making sure that you put your blinders on is also important, because Sharon might in 2 weeks be like, oh my gosh, there's this brand new tool and I love it. And Sharon goes in that rabbit hole because it works for Sharon's business. That doesn't mean it's going to work for Sadie's business or your business. You're going to have to read through what the tool's about, see the use cases, like what is Sharon using it for? Can I translate that to my business easily? Because all the time you spend learning
Right.
these brand new tools, that is time that you're not spending creating and making money.
Right. That is so true. I got someone sent me a freebie yesterday, 500 AI tools, and I think it was 250 prompts of the best prompts. And it had it broken down into categories, which was really nice. But when you opened up the first subject, like imaging tools, there was like another 100. And I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. So I thought, okay, well, I'll curate this out and I'll make it a nice list, nice gift for my list.
Yeah.
And here I am 3 days later, still curating, because you just don't need all of that. You need to find one or two that you can work with and then move on from there. And I thought for the women of AI, I will simply take that list, and I'm going to put it in the group, but mentioning these are the latest set of tools, and you can guarantee that another 500 will come out within a week or two.
Yeah, the people are using AI to create more AI tools, and it's just getting like exponentially faster. So I think that overwhelm is going to be a big problem in this industry, especially for creatives like us who are wanting to use it to move the needle forward in our business, rather than just posting half-naked anime chicks all day in our newsfeed, right? So I feel like it can be very overwhelming trying to grab all the things and hold on to them. So yeah, anyone who's watching, just remember that you need one tool for one job. So if you want to make a list of the jobs that you want AI to help you with, that's fine. You might have one tool for ideation and outline and writing, ChatGPT, and another one for images, Midjourney, and another one for making your voiceovers, 11 Labs. Like, you're going to have
Booming
that
for
stack.
music. Yeah, exactly. I thought that I would put that list out there just so people can see it, but at the same time, I will put this Sharon and Sadie suggested use. Because we would take that list down to 10. Because
that's exactly what I was thinking, was we need to pick like the best 10. Yes.
Best 10. And that's the toolbox that we are going to teach in the Women of AI. Now, within your business, there may be something that you might need. Somebody might do the square root thing. I don't know. But there's an app, there's an app out there for it in AI, but you would be the only one using that. So we would teach the top 10 general AI tools for you to be able to, and show you how they can then use you to uplift your business. And that's all we need to know is these 10. Now, should you decide you want to veer off, that's great. And if you need some help, you can contact us and we can help you one-on-one, but it won't be something that we would be teaching the entire group. Yeah. And we want to open the floor that if there's a specific tool that you care about, then you can actually highlight that tool and you can give us a demonstration on it. We'll be more than happy to feature you.
We would love that. And so that kind of gets into like our membership that we're growing. You guys will have a link to it very soon. I think we're coming up on 2 weeks out for all of this, but that's what it's about. It's about like helping each other in this industry and having like this resource for you to go to, but also you being able to be a resource. If you find something that you like, share it with the group. Like that's totally fine. We love and respect that because we want to just lift every woman up, and we want to create this safe space to where you feel safe to ask the dumb questions. They're not dumb questions, but if you ask them in the other AI groups and spaces, people are going to treat you as if they are. So just know, like, that's what we're creating here. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to show the prompt guide that Sharon created and we put our magic on, and then we're going to look at what we're doing in our businesses. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And so Sharon created this amazing guide. Can you see the screen? Yeah, okay. Of prompts to use in ChatGPT. It's still in the works, but I'm going to show you a few little things. Let's see. Okay, this one I found very interesting and helpful. I'm working on this one. It's Spanish. But as someone who lives in Mexico and everyone around me knows Spanish and very little English, and I know English and very little Spanish, it really helps to use this prompt, an English pronunciation helper. You can also change this to another language. So I can put stuff in and ChatGPT will help me translate it, and it does a better job than Google Translator. I can promise you that, because Google Translator makes me look like an idiot more often than not, to be completely honest. And then you mix that with my gringo dialect and accent, and it's a beautiful thing. I think I was asking my friend for, we have a hand juicer, and she was in the kitchen, and I was like, she puts the stuff away. I don't know where anything is. And I'm like, do you know where the hand juicer is? But I didn't know how to say that. And I didn't have my translator with me. I said, ¿Dónde es jugo de mano? Juice of the hands. And you know what? She understood me because she speaks Sadie Spanglish at this point. So use ChatGPT to not ask your friend for juice of the hand when you're looking for the hand juicer. You know, just ChatGPT can help you in so many ways. There's other ones. There's the plagiarism checker. There's a novel writer. The Act As tool, the Act As hack, is really awesome because ChatGPT, like, you can make it think that it is a writer, a novelist, an advertiser, or whatever. So we have like 100 and something. How many? There's 144 pages in this. So you guys will see the link to the guide as soon as it's ready. But I just kind of wanted to cover what we're working on this week as far as the prompts go, and show you guys like how easy it is to just put a product out there. Like, Sharon and I are working together, obviously, so it's a little bit easier than just doing it by yourself, but we both also do things by ourselves in our own businesses. So just put it out there. She created a list of prompts, and then we popped it into Canva, and now I'm making it pretty and making sure everything's good, and then we're going to publish it. Don't overthink it. Use ChatGPT to get moving with things, right? Not just to talk to it and get some good answers. Do you want me to show my marriage magic stuff, since I'm already sharing my screen, and then you can do yours? Perfect. So for DIYdatenight.com, it's the niche site that I launched at the beginning of this year. I said I was going to use it as a case study, but every time I try to do a case study for a year long, it lasts about a month before I am like, screw it. So with this one, I still am building the blog. I don't know how much info I'll put out there about it, just because I'm bad at collecting it, but we're going to try. But one of the things about DIY Date Night is the focus is marriage building. And there are programs out there called like the love languages and the love dare and that kind of thing, but they're all super religious, and our blog is not. And we are not. So I asked ChatGPT to come up with 31 different love dares that are not based on religion. And then I also had ChatGPT follow up with 31 daily questions. So you can sit and talk to your spouse what is your favorite memory of us together and why? That one line would start a conversation with me and my husband. We would talk for 4 hours. Like we would just go on and on because he would talk about a memory, which would spark another memory, which would spark, and we would just spend the night talking about our favorite memories, right? So that's the type of thing people are looking for when they come to DIY date night. And I also asked for 12 fun activities that couples can do together to keep the romance alive. So ChatGPT created the Marriage Magic program, and I've just got to take all this, put it together. Obviously, that's the hard part, right? But I've just got to take it all, put it together in a digital product and pop it on the blog. This is going to lead into, I think it's going to be the Marriage Lab or the Love Lab, something like that is going to be our low ticket membership to just help people build their marriages. Like, this is my third marriage. I want to make sure that it works. So I'm trying to help with other people as, you know, what I learn along the way. But all of that would have taken me hours, and it took maybe 15 minutes.
Wow. Well, let me just say, as someone who has been with the same man for 28 years, that a lot of that is absolutely true. When we started dating, he would take me to different places, and I always saved the tickets. And so I have this memory book of tickets of everything we've ever done. And so we can pull the ticket out and talk about that night as if it just happened, you know. So you're right. It's little things like that to help you keep the connection fresh and keep the connection going so that the lines of communication remain open.
Yes. And what are you working on this week?
Well, let's see. So one of my things that I'm always talking about is how AI can help you refresh your PLR library so it doesn't look like anyone else's. So this is, let's see, share my screen. This is just the face of what ChatGPT has done for me. Now, some of these are dolls, but most of these are, and this is just 6, but I'm opening the store with 20 items, and all of these are PLR. And so this one, let's see, oh, it's probably not going to work in, it's actually a link. All right, and that one is, okay, never mind. The link isn't going to work in Zoom. But
okay.
Some of these are cards, some of them are books, and some of them are planners. And this is what I mean by refreshing your library so that your library doesn't look like anybody else's library. So when you're putting your stuff out there, it's not like 50 people have the same thing, only it's a different color, you know.
That's happening lately. I'm not going to name names in any memberships because that wouldn't be nice, but there is a very popular low ticket membership going on right now that is selling PLR rights to their people. It's the people who are renting the rights, really, but they people aren't doing what they're supposed to. If you look on Etsy, you can see copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, like cookie cutter. You can tell right away. Yeah, it's and they're infiltrating the Facebook ads. I bought a $7 product the other day, and I opened it up, and it was just the PLR that I already had from that person, and she didn't even really change it. And I was like, oh man, people are really out here doing this and teaching this. So please make sure that you're changing your PLR, because it's only going to make you look bad when people are scrolling through and see that you're an exact copy and paste of everyone else. Like,
Exactly.
especially in this time of AI popping up everywhere, the human connection, there's not going to be anything more important than the human connection, in my opinion, because people are going to get sick of the robots, and they're going to be having to reach out for that human connection more than they have in the past. And so if you're just being a copy and paste and you're not creating something new, like what you were just showing on your page, I mean, that's not a sustainable business model. You might make a few grand in the beginning, but it's not going to pay your bills for very long.
You know, that's so true, because for the grief manual journal, there's nothing to go to ChatGPT and say, I need 21 prompts for getting through grief, or can you give me a roadmap of how to go from being grieving to being happy? Or can you
Yeah.
actually give me some exercises that I can add into my workbook to help me work through my grief? My mother died. What would you suggest? My sister died. My baby died. And you can gear the grief journal to a specific type of person: baby, brother, sister, mother, father, you
Because it's
know.
also different. It
Exactly. There is no
it's so many
reason there should
options.
be, even if you did a grief journal on surviving your mother's death, and I did one, they would not be the same if we went
They
through
should
Grit
be
Chat
different.
GPT. They would be two entirely different grief models. And not because I'm Black and you're white, but because the algorithm isn't going to give you and your API the same information that it gives me and my API. And
Yep, and then
that's from understanding how it works.
yes, and then the next layer to that is add your own experiences in. If
Yes.
Sharon lost her mother and she had a good relationship with her, I guarantee you it's going to be different than the one I write about the toxic mother that I was raised with, because the grieving is very different if you're raised, like if you really, really were like loved and cared for by that person and you
Right.
reciprocated versus that's just the person who birthed you, you know? So it's, you don't discount the human experience, your human
Human
experience.
experience.
Even if you see 15 other grief journals out there, if you use Chat GPT in your way, you're going to get a different output. And then you add in your little story about how, you know, your grief looked different. What's her name? Jeanette McCurry, maybe? I don't know. She's a Disney star and her book is called I'm Happy My Mom Died or something.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It blew everybody up because of course nobody wants to be like, yeah, I'm glad my so and so died. People don't say that, right? That's not okay to say. So she wrote that book and I guarantee her experience is different than a lot of people who have lost their loving, caring, you know,
Right.
helpful
Exactly.
mothers.
Right. My family, my inner family is very small. My mom, it's just my sister and I. My sister had two kids. So, but I grew up in a family, I had like 27 cousins, and now I have like 44 second cousins. So,
Right. Wow.
so we didn't have a lot of friends growing up because our family was so big. My
Yeah.
grandmother had 10 kids, but I had one aunt who had 10 kids,
Oh
and the
my
other
gosh.
9 kids of my grandmother's only had 1 or 2 kids, but still that's a lot of people, right? So there's no
Yeah.
room to have outside friends come in because we took up the whole neighborhood. But
Right.
so when we had family reunions, which was anytime, because I had one aunt, the aunt that had 10 kids was a party aunt. Okay, it stopped raining. We need to have a party.
Oh my
Boom.
God. I love it. I love it.
She was one of those type of people. So therefore, the grill never stopped. The
Mm-hmm.
grill never stopped. The music never stopped. We always had homemade ice cream. I digress. But anyway, this is just showing you the kind of parties that my family had. And so the rest of the neighborhood would come over simply because we made so much noise, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when my mother died, it was the four of us, and my mother was a praying mother, and she prayed for us all the time. She loved us unconditionally. So when my mom died, it was very, very painful. But at the same time, I was
Mhm.
glad that she wasn't in any more pain. And to
Yeah.
this day, when it's her birthday, we no longer celebrate her over the internet because it's too painful to watch her pictures. But we have a Zoom meeting with the four of us, laughing and talking and reliving it, our lives with her, and she is always there with us. So my grief journey is very different from someone else's, you know?
Yes. Yeah,
So
just that little story shows though how different everything is. Like I didn't have very much family growing up and I didn't have a good relationship with my mom. So my grief journey is going to be so different that it's just like you just have to talk to your people. Help
yes,
yourself from 5 years ago. Like you don't have to overcomplicate it. Just tell your story and let Chat GPT help,
right,
you know?
exactly. So,
Okay, your customer journey. You want to talk to us
oh
about
gosh,
that?
yes. So I finally decided, finally decided for my membership. And I want to simply, I cut a small piece out of all the things I'm having problems with. And I figure other people are having those same pain points, right?
Yes.
So my membership is going to not get into a lot of PLR because that's a separate membership where we get into great detail about PLR. But you, how to use the tools in your toolkit that you have chosen to make your PLR work for you. It's also about a little bit of admin and project management, because a lot of people get swamped in that. They go down so many levels that they get lost. You don't need to go down that many levels. And you need somebody to kind of rein you in from that. And then it's a little bit about AI and making sure you rein in your AI. And then also it's and mostly accountability. You know, if you say that I follow Sadie, I follow Sadie. I got my 50 blog posts finally, but I can thank ChatGPT for doing that. However, I have 5 blogs. So that's 150 blog posts. So, but I need accountability for that. And so
Yes.
it's important that I'm accountable for not just the things that I chose to write on, which is Medium, it's Newsbreak, it's Microsoft, and it's there's a fourth one out there, Medium, Newsbreak, Microsoft. There's one,
I
there's a
know. I
fourth.
was just trying to think of what the other one is. Medium, Newsbreak, Microsoft. Those are the ones I talk about. I can't think
I
of the
know,
other
but
one.
there's one other one that I just found. Anyway, it deals with newsletters. But and as soon as I have it, as soon as I get it, I'll share it with the group.
Awesome.
But making sure I'm on track with that. And so it's simply a group for women. They already have their business, they know what they're doing, but they get lost in their own mindset, you know, because you want to be detailed, but you get so detailed that you're now in the weeds. And if you're running the business, you can't be in the weeds. Somebody's got to have a
No.
big picture, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I think people do get bogged down with the tiny tasks because like we talked about before we started recording, like I'm the big picture person. I can see everyone's 6-figure path. Like talk to me for 2 minutes and I've got a 6-figure path for you. However, because of all the intricacies that go with running each different business and each person sharing their story, like we were just talking about, right? Like because of all the differences, you do need that added layer of accountability, because if not, you're going to get overwhelmed and you're going to shut down and you're going to stop showing up for them and yourself. And that happens. We've had very few people leave VIP. Usually I'm kicking people out. We've had very few people leave VIP. And I was reading in the exit survey just last night. It was an exit survey from like a month ago, but I didn't even know the lady was in there, much less left, because she never did anything. So I didn't know who she was. I was like, I don't know that name. But I was reading through the survey, and the survey literally was like, Sadie, you do a great job. You have everything there for us, but I just didn't do it. And I didn't want to ask any more questions. And I'm like, in what universe would you join a coaching program and think you weren't supposed to ask questions? Like, what did you think was going to happen? I was going to sit here with a spoon and put the money in your mouth. Like, that's not how it works. But that's a very real problem that lots of people have. So having a membership that helps with that added mindset, because we do have a lot of accountability in VIP, but it's very hardcore accountability. It is not kumbaya, holding hands around the campfire kind of accountability
Oh,
from
no,
me.
no, 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 no.
Like that's not going to happen in any way, shape, or form. Like it's accountability that knocks you on your ass at times, because I look you dead in the face and ask why you've been in my membership for 6 months and you don't have a membership of your own yet. And that
Right.
hurts. Like
Because everybody's around you's got one, and you know,
yeah,
and so
yeah,
and speaking for myself, it becomes like I'm not a failure, but I can't get my shit together, you know.
yeah,
And then because I'm multi-talented, it's like, how do I narrow this down? So, and then I get in the weeds when I do the brain dump, and then
yeah.
Sadie has a terrific way of handling the brain dump. And I'm going to put this out there because everybody needs this. So Monday, you do a brain dump. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every day, brain dump. Saturday, pick up the 5 sheets of paper, or Sunday, if you do one on Saturday, pick up and then go through and see if those ideas are just as good today as they were the day you wrote them. If not, shit
Yes.
can't, because
Yes.
it's just not doing you any good. It's just on a paper and it's weighing you down. Get rid of it. And then you write your new list and you really only have like 3 things on it.
Yes, don't be, and we're learning this with the Build a Second Brain book by Tiago Forte.
I'll go for it.
Yeah, but you need to curate your best ideas, just like that list of the 500 you were talking about earlier. They
Yeah.
gave us 500 tools or whatever. We don't need that many, and probably 350 of them are crap. I've been looking at a lot of the new AI tools lately, and I'm like, I'm not even giving you my real email. I don't trust you. Like, y'all look shady. I didn't trust them. I did it this morning with it was a meal planning AI, and it wanted like your name, your age, your height, your weight, all those things. And then it of course asked for your email. And I was like, I don't know if I trust you. So I gave it a, spam email. But that's what it is. It's like all of the tools are going out there and they're not the best of the best. So
Right.
take all of your ideas from the whole week, or if you're behind, the whole month. I've done that too. And realize that if you wait longer than a week, it can be a very draining process. I find it energizing myself, but whenever I put that information out there and started having people copy my process, they're like, Sadie, I'm exhausted. I'm like, what? You're exhausted from this? It's a brain dump. And then you're curating your ideas. This is the best part of my life. Like, this is my favorite thing. This is why I wake up in the morning, is so I can talk to my ideas. So if your mileage may vary, it energizes me, but it might kill your energy a little. So plan for that. Don't let it ruin your day, and your energy for that, your productive time. But yeah, Sharon explained it perfectly. Thank you, Sharon. It's perfect, because you don't want to lose the ideas, but you don't want to be a hoarder of ideas, because ideas don't pay the bills.
Right. Exactly.
You got to be making that money. Okay, so we're going to end this with our favorite Midjourney outputs of the week. While you look for yours, I'm going to show our Instagram feed.
Oh, great. Okay.
Okay. What? Let me open this up. Here we go. Zoom. Share screen. Google Chrome.
You know, that cartoon that you did this morning, that was great.
I don't remember.
You said you posted, let's do cartoons.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, what? When did I do that? It was probably scheduled and I forgot. Yes, I like the cartoons, even though that's not normally my style. I actually prefer watercolor. Watercolor is my favorite style out of everything. But cartoon has been fun for me. I've liked the results I've gotten. So this is our tiny little Instagram. You guys can look, we have 13 followers, and I think it's been a few days now. And you guys are going to be able to, this is why we're sharing this, is so you guys can watch us grow and you can see what we do and you can apply that in your own business. I started putting in prompts that included words that are not usually associated with beautiful. Okay, so I started using old, fat, words that usually people have negative connotations associated with. I don't. I love the word fat. I don't know why it bothers so many people. I'm so proud to be fat. I am eating good and I'm enjoying my life, but I understand that some people don't like it. So I just started putting in words that normally wouldn't equal beautiful to today's society, and look at the beauty that we were given. Like, absolutely stunning. I feel like up here in the top left, I feel like she would just be my mother-in-law and would just be the most amazing person. Like, I feel so weird, like feeling the essence of these people. I'm very like intuitive. So for me to feel something from robotic images is weird to me. I didn't expect that, because I don't usually have that experience.
But you would feel like you know all 4 of these women.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All 4 of these women. You've seen them. They've been in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, even, I mean, it looks like this is the same person, but different
They
outputs.
changed the eyes just a little and the nose.
Yeah.
But the smile is the same. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like very similar. Like if it's not the same person, it could be sisters, you know?
Yeah. Hmm.
So we put in some this one surprised me. I put in it was the most beautiful woman in XYZ. And this was Hawaii. This is not what I expected. This is not the look that I was expecting when I put that in. This one I used beautiful old Jewish woman. I don't remember this prompt. I just added the word fat. I feel like they use the same person's face. Like, look at their faces. They look so
Yeah.
similar. But it just looks like different outfits, different scenes. I like it. This is Australia.
Mhm.
This was Antarctica. I love that Midjourney actually creates people of color in a decent way. Like I was scared
Uh-huh.
based on what I've seen as far as renditions of white people versus renditions of Black people. Like it never felt like the same effort was put in to making Black people appear as real people. Like, does that make sense? Like, it just
Mhm.
feels like it was always different. And now you can put in Black or brown or even African or Australian, like whatever extra word you want to add
Cuban,
in.
Puerto Rican, and there is a
Yeah.
difference between them now. Like
That
before they had just the format. Now it's a difference between them.
See, that is the level up that I like being able to showcase diversity in the right way,
Yeah.
not in like every top movie in America that has a Black lead. There's got to be something about, oh, the Black person is a slave, or the Black person is the help, or it's
Yeah.
or the criminal, right? So it's like
Mhm.
it almost like just makes it even in the creation process, and I like that. And I think this was Egypt, which
Wow.
was interesting. Her eyes are definitely like
Those,
Pixar-ish,
yeah.
but they're very piercing. So those were my favorite. This one was my favorite from the week. We've got silly ones in here, of course, and always mushrooms. There will
Always
always be
mushrooms.
mushrooms.
Yes. Always
So
mushrooms.
those were mine.
Okay. Let's see here what Sharon has. Oh, goodness. Uh, Mine isn't going to be as expressive as yours, but close enough.
I love that we can both showcase our styles though, because yours is definitely more intentional with what your next step is going to be, whereas mine is just based on creativity and how I'm feeling in the moment.
Well, again, I started to see if it could do hollow words
Mm.
for, because of course I'm still working on the coloring book guide. And
Yep.
I wanted it to be able to do positive messages. And I didn't want the words colored in. So that's still
Mm.
kind of a work in progress. Um, I got some more different prompts I'm going to run today. And this is one of your challenges with watercolor. And I
I
did
was
this.
just gonna say I love the watercolors.
And then this is liquid ink. The black and white is liquid ink. And
What?
over here as well, this fantasy, beautiful
Oh.
fantasy creatures hanging out on the moon in liquid ink. So that's more
Okay,
liquid ink.
that's amazing. I have not tried that prompt yet.
And then I had this is a watercolor of the earth exploding in
Mhm.
flowers and rainbows.
Oh my gosh, that's
And
right up
then
my
this is
alley.
kittens with fireflies and fairies.
I love it. That would be such a good children's book, like having animals on explorations, and then like you use ChatGPT to write bedtime poems about them or
Oh
whatever,
yeah.
but the cats are going through and the butterflies and the fairies, and yeah, that would be a good children's book.
And I just want to show two other things. So this week, one of the members of our
Mhm.
group was trying to actually do a shower, but the word shower is banned because it has sexual connotations, apparently.
Right.
So my suggestion was to put the words together, shower head. And shower head gave us these, which are just like, these are right out of Architectural Digest.
Yeah, like, I feel like I wanna go live in the top right for sure.
Yeah.
Like, that view and the tub that I could actually fit in. I'm so tall, I don't ever fit in a tub, especially not in Mexico, oh my gosh. Um, so, yeah, I just want that to be my house, that's beautiful.
And then
That's actually so helpful for, uh
Samantha,
oh my
yeah,
god,
because she was, we were struggling. Everybody was struggling trying to help her.
yes.
Sadie wanted to do a treasure chest, but chest, of course, is banned because of sexual connotations. So I put the words together, treasure chest, and made it one word. And we got Blackjack here opening up his. So,
Yeah, he's a
so
little
that's something
creepy,
else we have.
but yeah, but I'm glad that that prompt works because a lot of what I do with Pips has to do with like Pips Island. I want to
Uh-huh.
have treasure chests and you're opening the treasure chest and you're finding the good stuff. So I needed treasure chests and this will be perfect.
Okay. And so the rest of this is just trial and error. I was trying to come up with some background prompts. And I was,
Those are amazing. Sorry, I didn't mean to
it's
interrupt.
okay.
Those are absolutely stunning. That looks like a grandma's house.
It does, doesn't it? I mean, it's
Yeah.
like I don't know, do you even enjoy sitting in?
Right, I was gonna say, so not my grandma because there's no plastic over it, but a grandma.
My grandma had plastic too.
Did she?
It stuck to
Oh.
you when you were in the summer. That's if you were lucky enough to be able to sit on it, you know?
Yeah, if you were allowed. My grandma, we were only allowed to because my grandma was in her old age and got soft. But all of the kids before us, no, they were like, "You're doing what?" And yeah, we definitely got spoiled because she got soft. These are so good. Will you go back to your feed? There's one that I want to know the prompt for.
Okay.
Um, Let me see. It was up just a little bit, right? Okay, top left, middle left. It's a girl on the left. She looks like a 50s pinup model or something. I don't know.
Oh,
Like,
yes,
yeah, the top right here. That looks like a movie. Like,
it does.
oh my
And get this,
gosh.
it's not even, I mean, this pissed me off. This one did, because the prompt is, come on, beautiful woman standing, talking to an engaged audience,
So that doesn't even,
enjoying.
yeah, so that doesn't even fit, but the
It doesn't even,
output's amazing.
so I did a down thumb on that one and told them they completely missed the mark, you know.
They did, and that's a good tip though, you guys. Whenever you get something, like, yeah, that's a beautiful output, but it's not what you asked for. You needed to give it the thumbs down so they know.
So they know, and they're really hot on hearing from you if you put a thumbs down on something. Sometimes you may even
Yeah.
get a response back. Hey, how did we
Wow.
miss the mark? Well, did you read the prompt?
Right, right. You read the prompt and you look at the picture and you tell me. Okay, well that's, oh my gosh, I love it. All of these are, there's are good office images on the bottom right. Those
Yeah.
you could create, you know more about the licensing than I do. Would creating images like this and selling them in a bundle of stock photos be something that is okay with the licensing?
Yes, it would be, because having been in policy, everything that you put in
Yep.
from your imagination that comes out is yours, and you can sell it. The commercial license will allow you to sell it. And as strange, you should mention that, because I was considering putting together these. Everybody goes looking for photos when they do their blog posts or articles or whatever, and everyone
Yeah.
isn't interested in doing Midjourney or Creative Fabrica or even going to
Nope.
Upsplash,
Nope.
but if you can make it easy to sell them in bundles of 10, which is very easy, or 8, 12, whatever, once you
Yeah.
figure out what you're looking for. But if you're dealing with women, pink, mauve, rose, beige, all of those always works,
And
because
that's good
it's an
because
inviting color. It's a soft, non-demanding color.
it is, and you can group these by aesthetic. So
Yeah.
floral and pinks could be your aesthetic, but then you've got all of these different options. You've got different people sitting at the desk. You've got different flat lays on the desk. You've got different office looks, and you've got people that look different. I think that's my favorite thing about this is
Mhm.
all of the stock photo sites have been pretty much people that look the exact same forever. And
Forever.
now we have the opportunity to change that. And that
Yes.
is like, that's absolutely wonderful. So think about that whenever you're creating resources in your business. What are some resources that maybe haven't been created before? We think everything's been done, but I guarantee it's going to be hard to find a bundle of 50 stock photos for women in their office, and you've got women of all shades, sizes,
Right.
shapes, everything across older, younger, all of the different demographics that aren't ever covered in the stock photo sites. Oh my gosh,
Right.
I love those.
And this one is really nice because it's not so much pen and ink or watercolor. It's almost like a blend between those, which makes it even more soft
Yeah.
and more inviting. And the one before it, wrong way, sorry.
Grandma's house.
Come on. I thought that one was nice. And
Yeah.
this was the first time I got one where they didn't cover up the logo of the Apple.
Oh,
Normally
yeah.
they would cover up the logo. So they must have worked out something with
Yeah.
Apple. I don't know
That's
what happened to my
interesting.
other ladies.
Mixed in with the random challenges I throw in.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And just for one last thing, so I
Yeah.
wanted to see what it would do as far as a bedroom goes.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
So I was
I
looking
want
for
that bed.
yeah, a princess bedroom, right?
Oh,
All of these are sweet,
yes.
but
They
there are people,
are.
there are people out there who do scenes as a business. I'm
Mhm.
wondering how this is going to affect their business because
Mhm.
if I mean, and this was me asking, the prompt here is so simple, but of course, if you're in the scenes, you can get a lot more detail. This says beautiful white and soft pink princess style bedroom for teenagers.
Wow.
But you can say
Yeah.
with a study space, with posters on the wall, with her
Um,
girlfriends hanging out on the floor. I mean, you could just make it any kind of scene you want, you know?
yeah. I think that if someone's doing this as a business already, this is going to be their opportunity to scale the F out of it because,
Yes.
like you said, truly, most people aren't going to be interested in using Midjourney. We are, and this is our world. So it feels like everybody's using AI. Go talk to somebody in real life. Go log off and talk to somebody at McDonald's and ask them what their thoughts are on Midjourney or ChatGPT. They're going to look at you like you're the robot. That people don't, I mean, maybe if you live in like Silicon Valley, but like people, normal, everyday people that aren't in this industry, they don't know what the heck any of this is. I just sent something. It was kind of like a scene creator. It was a staging thing. I
Mhm.
sent it to a realtor friend and she's like, I'm like, what are you using in your business with AI? Like, I was really excited. And she's like, no, I haven't done it yet. Everybody's talking about it, but I haven't done it yet. If you're creating scenes, use AI. Hire 5 people, teach them how to use the AI, and then you've got a million times the output that you could have
Right.
as one person and sell that stuff.
Exactly. And then offer a class teaching people who really want to know how to do it, and then write a book and put it on Amazon, so
Yes.
we can
Yes.
give you a
And then
bill.
join. Okay. Right. And then join VIP so we can help you with your membership.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love seeing your feed. I think we should add this like every time, just do a little feed at the end.
Okay. I think that's good because I don't
Yeah.
really share my stuff. So
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you guys get to see it at the same time Sadie does.
Yeah. I don't see it very often. I'm always busy, scheduling the post and making sure everybody sees stuff front facing, but I love seeing what Sharon comes up with. Like, I love this, Sharon. It's awesome. The reason I didn't show my feed today is because Midjourney decided to give me some nudity and I didn't want to get us banned from YouTube. We've already had enough issues with Instagram and technology and usernames. So we're just gonna play it safe. So
Yes.
my feed this week was not shown. I did not ask for them. They just gave them to me. And they were kind of weird looking, but it's okay. So next week we'll dive into my brain and my feed a little bit more. Hopefully we can. All right.
Okay.
Um, Sharon, let's leave them each with one piece of wisdom. What is your one piece of wisdom that you want them to take away from this call?
If there's an AI tool out there that specializes in one thing, use that. Do not use ChatGPT to check your grammar. Use Grammarly, because you know what? Grammarly does grammar and they do it better than anybody else. So you've been using AI for a long time. For as long as you've been using Grammarly, you've been using a bot. Stick with that one. It knows you, you know it, and it's going to do the thing really nice.
That is a very good tip. Instead of having like the Swiss Army knife of one tool doing all the things halfway, you want
Right.
something that's going to really drive it home. That's perfect. My piece of wisdom actually comes from what you said. I was writing it down when you were talking. And the people watching this might not care, but I know my VIP and PIPS people will. Your membership or course just needs to be a slice of the pie. When I created PIPS, I knew I wanted to help people make 6 figures with their blogs. And then I pivoted into, okay, 6 figures with your blog and membership. That's the pivotal piece. Like, I want everyone to have a membership, but I don't cover social media. I don't cover syndication in depth. I do it a little bit. But I realized I didn't have to be the whole pie. We're all just pieces in the pie. And when you said it like that, like, it clicked in my brain, like, yes, my framework is a piece of the pie. Yours is a piece of the pie. How you were talking about the accountability and the mentorship that you offer and the mindset work that you offer in your membership, not something that I have the bandwidth to cover. I can't help people with their mindset right now because that's not a priority for me. I'm just like, regardless of what's going on in here, you need to press the publish button. So I'm not the person, right? That's not my piece of the pie. But if we each take our pieces of the pie and we combine them, then just like in VIP, we have this network. My piece is here. I'm sending people to Sharon. We're sending people to Chef Coach Kim, and it just
Yes.
becomes this big pie that everyone can have a piece of, and we can help everybody in a whole way.
Right. Exactly. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
I just want
piece
to
of
say,
wisdom.
I am so happy with my membership, my VIP membership. I have grown so much professionally and personally, having been part of this, and the amazing women and Dwight, who's part of our group. I have so much admiration for Dwight because he hangs in there.
I know he does. And I'm so rough on him. Like, I am tough. Every time he
are
asks
tough
a
on him.
question, I am. And men should know that coming into my orbit. I'm not going to coddle or be extra handholdy with them. I'm going to be very direct, and they're going to have to earn their place just like everyone else. So when he asks a question, like with his man brain, and I'm just like, really? That's what and I'll just give it to him, and he takes it and he goes and does the thing. He doesn't let his emotions get in the way and say, Sadie was mean to me or Sadie hurt my feelings. He's just like, oh, wow, Sadie just punched me in the face, but it was true. So I'm going to go do the thing.
At the last call, when you were saying, look, you said you do this and you know it better than anybody else. And I realized I had bought one of Dwight's courses. I went back to start doing a course. God damn, he's really good at what he does. He really is. So he's on the right track, and you're right. You just need to stick with it.
Yep. Yeah, he is on the right track. I even sent Kevin over to him. Kevin opens every email. He beta tests every product. Like, he is he's his target market. So he's doing a really good job. But yeah, his stuff's awesome. I love VIP, and I'm thankful for those of you who participate and help out, because it is my program and you guys are paying to be in the program, but you still embrace the VIP spirit of helping each other out. And that just makes my heart so happy, because I've never had that anywhere else. Like,
The sisterhood of the VIP.
Yes. All right.
And one brother. Okay.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. We will see you again next week. Bye.
Bye.